If ever there was a time when NCIS fans weren't tortured with on-screen ships, then Ziva was on a totally different level. From the moment Ziva joined NCIS, the chemistry between her and Tony has been unmatched. For the next 8 seasons, we got some great Ziva and Tony moments with a lot of will they or won't they kind of romance. And in this video, we're going to talk about exactly that. Let's get right in and see their best moments on NCIS. Starting with number 10, we have Ziva meeting Tony for the first time. Ziva, played by Cote de Pablo, made her first appearance on the famous TV drama NCIS in its 3rd season. In the first episode titled Kill Ari Part 1, she arrived at the bullpen to talk to Gibbs, played by Mark Harmon, about the situation regarding Ari, and she discovered Tony. Tony, who's played by Michael Weatherly, saw Ziva and their exchange was awkward at first, but most fans found it to be endearing. It wasn't long before Ziva showed off her detective skills and told Tony his entire background without hesitation. Pablo and Weatherly have been amazing since the very first day people saw their characters light up the screen. Their initial flirtations had hooked audiences, and Season 3's episodes had marked a different turn for the on-screen will they won't they pair. In Kill Ari, when Ziva and Tony are on the hunt for Ari, she insists that her brother was pulling an undercover assignment, and she was also convinced that he wouldn't kill anyone else. But Ziva realized that her brother had been misguided, and eventually she shot him after Ari attempted to kill Gibbs. In an explosive episode, it was hard not to kind of fall for the two. At number 9, we look at Ziva and Tony as married assassins. When Tony and Ziva got their first big assignment, they went undercover at a luxury hotel. And that's not even the fun part. The fun and spicy part was when both had to pretend to be married to trick the guests. Being assassins, and married ones at that, was something audiences loved to watch. The pair were secretly more than willing to play the part, and they made our hearts melt. From Tony calling her by her nickname Sweet Cheeks, to Ziva calling him My Little Hairy Butt, everything about that episode was great. The title of the episode is Undercovers, and Tony and Ziva's on-screen relationship had progressed quite nicely. Such flirtatious moments between the pair had created an entire TV ship, and fans couldn't help but want them to be together. Ziva was the liaison officer for NCIS, and she quickly adjusted to Gibbs's team. Everyone had been fond of her since day one, especially Tony, of course. When the pair went undercover as married assassins, they appeared both convincing and funny, as they were trying to fake their intimate moments to keep the mission on track. Also, they didn't want to lose their cover, so they had to be convincing of their steamy, intimate sessions. The anticipation of such moments had viewers at the edges of their seats each time the pair got closer to each other. At number 8, we've got Tony and Ziva boxed in together. Season 3's episode, Boxed In, was a fair assessment of the situation in which Tony and Ziva were caught. Although both have been trapped together on many occasions, this one just hit differently. As the name suggests, the two were stuck inside a shipping container after getting into a gunfight and were forced to retreat. Their retreat happened to be a container in which they had to take cover, and both seemingly got extra cozy with each other. To be fair, getting stuck in a container is a claustrophobic nightmare for many people, and while we don't encourage first moves such as getting stuck in enclosed spaces with your crush, we couldn't help but root for the pair at that moment. Their light flirty moments in times of stress prove to us that both are each other's anchors. How romantic is that? Even though they were literally stuck in a shipping container hiding to save their lives. But anything for love, right? For number 7, we have the pair teaming up for a case. As agents of NCIS, Ziva and Tony had spent a lot of time together as part of a team. They've worked together on many cases, and fans have been shipping them constantly. In Season 7's episode, titled Jet Lag, the pair flew to Los Angeles to protect their director, Jenny Shepard. While on their mission, Ziva also managed to stop by Paris and enjoy some time there together as well. That sounds like the perfect date idea, minus the crime-fighting part. Next up, at number 6, Ziva are stuck together again. Can there ever be a moment in which Tony and Ziva are not stuck together? Well, that wouldn't satisfy fans at all. In Season 9's finale, titled Till Death Do Us Part, a terrorist bomb plot inside the team's headquarters forced the pair to be stuck inside an elevator. Yet again, we've got Ziva in another claustrophobic situation. The circumstances were indeed a nightmare, but hey, anything for our on-screen couple to share a few intimate moments together, right? The situation gave Tony and Ziva some unforgettable moments, and fans are sure to never forget them too. And after the major cliffhanger in Season 10's episode, titled Extreme Prejudice, we see the events after the whole bomb plot. The episode followed the aftermath of the situation, and during the opening moments of the episode, we see that both agents had survived the blast by hiding in an elevator. And that's where both shared some lighthearted moments that fans will never forget. Tony and Ziva have been a crucial part of the show, and we're always eager to see the pair share flirtatious remarks here and there. At number 5, we have Tony dealing with heartache. Tony had to go through some hard times in Season 5 of NCIS. The episode titled Bury Your Dead and Family was an emotional one where he had split up from Jean and was having a difficult time moving on from it. Luckily for Tony, Ziva was there to give him some much-needed emotional support and a shoulder to cry on. Such tender moments have lived on in the hearts of Tiva fans, and we're always rooting for the pair to share more moments like that again. At number 4, Ziva almost died, and so did our hearts. NCIS fans went through another traumatic episode where Ziva was almost killed. Yes, we all remember that. In Season 7, Ziva came close to death, and it involved a boating accident. For a time, Tony believed that Ziva had indeed died in the accident, and he was losing it. Tony was bent on getting revenge, and fans got an idea that Tony can't live without Ziva after all. That bittersweet moment had defined the on-screen pair's relationship for the entire season. This episode is ranked as one of NCIS's 10 best episodes of all time. Tony and McGee had gotten themselves captured, and the whole mission had gone wrong. Ziva had participated in a Mossad mission, and that too had gone awry. The action-packed episode had a lot of moments that made Tony and Ziva question their feelings for each other, and fans had been anticipating them finally getting together. Ziva almost dying had stopped our hearts, and Tony's heart too. Now, at number 3, Tiva goes to Germany. In Season 10's episode titled Berlin, Ziva and Tony go to Germany to track some information regarding who the killer of her father is. The trip packed a lot of intimate scenes for the pair, and fans were relieved at having to see some more intimacy after all those seasons. We see them share a dance even. As it turns out, the time spent in Berlin is also one of Pablo's most favorite scenes. The actress explains, "Michael and I crafted that scene. We felt the moment was very intimate, and we thought that just looking at each other was enough." Well, what can we say? Our hearts have already melted at the sight of them dancing in Berlin. Following that at number 2, the chemistry in Judgment Day is unmatched. By the 5th season, the chemistry between Tony and Ziva had become quite something. There were lots of smart banters and Ziva-isms which fans have adored throughout the seasons. And in the episode titled Judgment Day, the pair had been assigned to accompany the NCIS director Jenny Shepard on a trip to Los Angeles where she is killed. The ensuing episode features a heightened drama, and the pair share some more unforgettable moments together. Fans have always remembered each detail about the agents, from the most major moments down to the tiniest of instances. Judgment Day Part 2 is also ranked as one of the best NCIS episodes of all time. Finally, at number 1, we have the best Tiva moment. In Season 11, the episode titled Past, Present, and Future had somehow sealed the deal. Fans witnessed the much-awaited moment between Tony and Ziva as they finally kissed. The bulk of the episode was spent with Tony trying to find Ziva in Israel and convince her to come back, which was quite romantic on its own. But by the time Tony arrived, Ziva had already decided to leave behind her job and start fresh. Starting fresh also meant saying goodbye to Tony, and while our hearts were aching at the scene, the long-awaited kiss had somehow fixed our feelings. The bittersweet moments on the tarmac when she says her final words to Tony will live on forever in our hearts. It provided viewers with just enough Tiva goodness to leave them wanting more from the pair. In the end, fans got what they wanted. Nothing can quite compare with the heartbreaking yet satisfying moment in all of NCIS when Tiva finally shared their first kiss. The suspense and anticipation of seeing the agents finally have their moment together was so good that it was hard to be mad at the writers for keeping them apart for all those seasons. Over the seasons, we've seen Tony and Ziva dance around each other, playfully tease one another, and flirt too, all the while keeping a straight and serious face while fighting crime, of course. From the married assassins to being stuck in tight spaces together, each episode starring the pair was endearing to look at. Every Tiva moment on NCIS was a precious moment to be remembered and cherished. That's a wrap for this video. So which Tony and Ziva moment was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.